And hello, all my fellow nerds out there. This is Orlando Richie, and welcome back once again to our Wonderland Remastered. Last time we just got away from Gidget during Arc 2, and now we're heading over to the castle. At least it what looks like a castle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Any, we're we're gonna continue Arc 2 from where we left off. So let's get right to it. The floating spires turn out to be attached to a castle, a large castle. And as we grow closer, it looms all the larger, soaring walls, giant towers, twisting walkways, and glittering red peaks. Genzo's silent as he looks up at it. I toss him a glance. Everything okay? Hmm? Oh, yeah. Everything's, right as rain. But I catch his smile falling once he thinks I've looked away. There's a scraping rumble beneath us, and the boat slows to a stop. We've hit land. There's no dock or pier here. Instead, the lake simply glides up against the bank, almost like some kind of grassy beach. We hop out of the boat into ankle-deep water, dragging it the rest of the way. It's getting pretty dark now, and I'm not too keen on walking about around this place at night. Pad further up onto the bank, my feet squishing inside my shoes. What now? Gilza wanders over. For a second, he looks at me as though he wants to say something, but he ultimately remains quiet. I see him scratch at his calf with the side of his foot. We check out the town, I say, breaking the silence. There might be some place for us to get some sleep. God knows we could use a soft bed at this point. Yeah. Well, come on then. I start to turn away, only for Gento to step forward and grab the sleeve of my shirt. Iggy, But he doesn't continue. He stands there for a moment, his brows furrowed, his breath heavy. I swear, I catch the tiniest hint of pink on his cheeks. Then he seems to realize what he's doing because his eyes go to the grip of his fingers on my sleeve and he jerks it away with a start. Sorry, he mumbles, gaze dropping to the ground. Raise a brow. What is it? Nothing, just me being stupid is all. But what else is new, am I right or am I right? I blink. Right. Anyway, what were you saying? You were, we find ourselves a place to shack up? Sounds great to me. God knows I'm about ready to lose my mind at this point. Just give me a few hours to not have to worry about whether or not my mom will have someone to take care of her in her ripe old age. Damn, is it getting dark out? Come on, eggs. Let's blow this popsicle stand before it's so dark we can't even see our own dicks. Your logically sound knights shall lead the way. And with that, he takes off. I watch him putter his way up the hill. The fuck? But for multiple reasons, it's now is not exactly the best time for me to be mulling over the complexities of Genzo's deteriorating psyche. So with a little shake of my head, I start after it. Just over the hill is a small dirt path. It curves around a few fishing shacks before gradually morphing into a cobblestone road that leads towards the castle town we saw from the boat. It's eerily quiet, though. I don't spy a single soul beside the two of us. Even the fishing shacks look abandoned. With some of them standing with their doors wide open, while others are completely boarded shut. The whole place looks deserted. Are we the only ones here? But Genzo is already a good couple of yards ahead of me. I'm not sure if he doesn't hear my comment or just doesn't acknowledge it. I jog to catch up, and I notice him start to walk just a bit faster. He doesn't look at me. I chew on the inside of my cheek with a frown and simply fall into step behind him. At least it doesn't take long. Then we make it to the town proper. There are more buildings here. Cozy cottages and apartments, quaint storefronts, airy cafe areas. And in the middle of the main square is a fountain tinkling away. But it's equally as deserted as the fishing shacks. Nothing and no one in sight. Damn, this place is like a ghost town. There's gotta be someone here. Maybe we should, split up. Yeah, split up and look. I don't say anything for a moment. Then, what? My voice cracks with a squawk. There's not even anybody here. It'll be fine. Besides, it'll take us forever to search this whole place if we don't. I guess? Okay, cool. Give me a shout if you find someone. I just stand there, watch him scuttle away. Sure, okay, I say into the empty air. I frown and scrape my feet over the cobblestone. Did I do something wrong? I try to replay our previous conversation in my head. I must have said something wrong. Something really awkward, maybe. It wouldn't be the first time, but the idea that Genzo wouldn't want to be around me makes me feel like there's a big cold stone just sitting there, sitting right smack in the middle of my gut. I give my heart, I give my hair a flurried tousle and let out a groan. I'm overthinking this. I should go search the town. The sooner we find someone, the sooner we'll get to rest, even if only for a bit. So I wander out towards the nearby buildings. Hello? I peek my head into what looks like a deserted cafe. Anybody home? I step inside, and the door clunks shut behind me. It suddenly feels incredibly quiet. I poke out my bottom lip, but with a bemused glance around about the premises. It's a cute cafe, or at least it would be if it weren't so dark and eerily deserted. I let myself amble somewhat aimlessly around the building dining area, almost as though making a show of searching for someone. But clearly, my heart isn't really in the search. I sit down at one of the tables instead, rest my chin in my hands. Maybe he's really annoyed at me. I wouldn't blame him. I annoy myself all the time. I pause, blink. I'm still thinking about him? What's wrong with me? I've never been so hung up on someone like this in my life. Or someone. I tap my finger idly on the marble surface of the table. It's true, my feelings towards Genzo are different than my feelings towards others. I feel very safe around him. Like I belong, somehow. It's the same thing I thought earlier, back in his shop. Being around him doesn't sap me of energy like it does with others. And when he smiles at me, it makes me happy. Happy? It makes me fucking ecstatic. I groan and rub at my face. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. Why can't I have normal feelings like a normal freaking human being? Everyone else in the entire world seems to have figured out this shit already. A sound outside catches my attention. And just as I turn my head, grows from a lone clatter to a veritable cacophony. What the? I jump from my chair, heart quickly leaping to overdrive. I run towards the door, ear to the grain. Sounds continue. Scuffle of some sort. Then abruptly come to a stop. I key my ears, fingers trembling nervously against the wood of the door. Okay, okay, you got me. I surrendered. Jeez. Who are you? You don't look like one of the citizens here. Oh, whoa, whoa. Easy on the goods. I like it rough, but not that rough. Disgusting human. I'm taking you in. His Majesty will love playing with you. Genzo. I react before my brain has a chance to register what I'm doing. I sort straight out the door. Genzo! Only to instantly blanch. Genzo's being held aloft in the middle of the street by a duo of rabbit guards. Extremely tall rabbit guards. At my brazen entrance, all three set their eyes towards me. Who's this one? Scrawny little guy, 80. Genzo's face is going white. That's, Then he seems to get an idea. Boys, yoo-hoo, you better watch out, I'm getting away. He begins to wriggle and tug against the rabbit's grip. Stop that wriggling. 284, would you give me a hand? You know, I really wish you would just call me Jerry. Both rabbits turned their attention back to Genzo. I can only imagine that this was supposed to be some kind of distraction so I could get away. I could run away. But fuck that. Head on a swivel, I search my environs for something long and hard. My gaze lands on a rake leaning up against the side of the cafe. Perfect. I grab it and let out a roar. Then charge. The rabbits never see it coming. I whack them across the shoulders, their backs, their legs, again and again and again. One whip like lash after the next, until my breath runs ragged and my voice is hoarse. I finally pause to admire my handiwork. You didn't do anything, bro. Come on. It's armor. I know it's technically supposed to be made of metal, but it could just be made of card. I see both of them just staring me down in confusion, none the worse for wear. Even Genzo is eyeballing me, though I've just sprouted a second head. Shit. I readjust my grip on the handle on my rake. I have to try again. I raise the rake back above my head, only for the nearest rabbit to swat me across the back with the flat side of his spear. Okay, that is kind of cartoony, I ain't gonna lie. He impacts me straight to the ground. I last for about a second after my skull hits the cobblestones, then black out. I'm woken from my stupor by the slap of a marble against my face. I groan. A tendril of drool works its way down between my lips and tickle the tile. Eggs! A voice hissed next to me, and then I barely sit up as he Genzo with his arms held behind his back by one of the rabbit guards. One of many rabbit guards. My eyes widen as I attempt to comprehend our situation. There's a whole circle of them surrounding us, and past them, the room opens out to a gigantic hall with ceilings that reach for the sky. I can only stare up in awe as I try to massage away the residual pain in my jaw. Iggy! Genzo hisses again, and tugs against the grip on his arms with a grunt. Let go of me, you overgrown Easter bunny! He manages to wriggle free with one last zealous heave and promptly face plants on the floor. Apparently the guards don't actually care at this point because they don't try to re-grab him. Iggs, you okay? He asks with a shake of his head before crawling over. That big lug-a-bug whapped you a good one. Earth is out of my head. I think so? Just a little bit out of it. I toss another glance around our surroundings. Where are we? That big eyesore of a castle we saw on the way up. Somebody's clearly compensating for something with this place. Genzo's smile falls, then returns, then falls again. He scratches his hair beneath his cap. You, attacked a 7-foot-tall rabbit with a broom for me. I stop. Stare at him. Feel my cheeks start to burn. It was a rake, actually. Oh, right. Attention! The sudden screech from behind us nearly sends my hands to my ears. Nerds pull a quick synchronous salute that echoes off the walls. Quiet for a moment. Then... here we go again. From the far hallway, a small figure emerges, clapping its hands together slowly. That was quite the show you put on down in the village. Here we go again. It's Orlum. Fucking Orlum. Sporting the gaudy as fuck crown. Rev of a cape with the white and black fur. And escorted on either side by a pair of over-embellished rabbit attendants. My jaw drops nearly to the floor. Genzo wobbles to his feet. I can see him trying his hardest not to laugh. Well, that explains the aura of pretentious dickhead dripping off the walls of this place. It's pleasant a mouth as always, I see. But what it doesn't explain is why the fuck you sent your long-eared flunkies after us. Do you even know how many times those things have tried to kill us? But Genzo, dear, they're only doing their duty. Willem oozes over and loops an arm around Genzo's shoulder. Their constant surveillance is essential to the smooth operation of this kingdom. After all, we wouldn't want any miscreants running amok down here, now would we? He gives Genzo's nose a sardonically affectionate squeeze at this. Genzo looks about 50 shades of uncomfortable. I guess not. Besides, I'm a busy man. I can't keep track of everything my men do down here. Let me make it up to you, Orlum leans in so close, I wonder if their foreheads don't touch. Before just abruptly pulling away and raising his fingers with a snap. Guards, get them cleaned up, would you? I want them looking spotless for the feast tonight. As he glides away, and as the set of rabbits attendants scurry forward, bobbing and bowing and ushering us off, it's all I can do to shoot Genzo a look of sheer bewilderment at this rapid-fire series of developments. What? The actual, you know, fuck. There we go. I was gonna, see, not gonna finish that line. Never in my life have I ever felt more exposed. Staying in the middle of the tub with my arms raised, I eye my rabbit attendant warily as he scrubs me down. Is this really necessary? I asked, trying to disguise the tremor in my voice as I watched him tackle my thighs. Stand still. I jerked back up to attention and spent the rest of the bath with my eyes trained on the far wall. Once the cleansing is finished, I feel as though I've lost about 3 layers of skin. I'm toweled off and dressed in a thick white robe. Then it's Then it's to the large vanity, where my curls are blown dry, and where I'm given a choice to view the state of my face for the first time. I grimace in the mirror. My eyes are a strange mixture of purple and red and dark, like two sunken holes in the middle of my face. And they're surrounded by thick purplish brown rings that make me look like some kind of degenerate raccoon. My cheeks are lined with more bruises, a strange mix of green, purple, and brown dotted into dark red scabs. My attendant finishes brushing my now fuzzy hair, and I place my glasses back on my nose, thankful that thick frames hide some of the damage. There's a knock at the door, and another rabbit enters the room, holding a neatly folded set of clothes. It takes me a second to realize they're my own. Wait, when did you? They've been cleaned, dried, and perfectly pressed. I have no idea how I couldn't have been in the bath longer than 20 minutes. I'm given no explanations, of course. Instead, shuffled back over to the changing area where my attendant promptly sets to work fitting me into my newly cleaned attire. I raise my arms as he tugs my shirt over my head, smoothing it carefully across the front and back, then tugs me into my pants and cinches the waist tight with the clasp. Infantilized doesn't even come close to how this entire situation has made me feel. Once I'm finally finished, my attendant leads me back out into the hall. Genzo and his attendant emerge from the door on the opposite side at almost the exact same time. He looks disturbed. Was that the weirdest fucking thing you've ever experienced, or did they do something different to you? You mean with the bathing and everything? Yes! His eyes grow sharp. Nobody did anything to you, did they? I blink, look away. My cheeks feel warm. No, it was fine. A little uncomfortable, but that was all. I see him chewing the inside of his cheek as he looks at me. He finally gives my shoulder a little squeeze of reassurance. You're safe now, yeah? Not that I really trust that fucker downstairs, but what's the worst he could do? Weird as the fuck out like normal? A laugh. I simply nod. A cold sense of dread clutching at my bowels is yet to fully recede, but I can feel its grip loosen somewhat. Move along, one of the attendants barks from behind us, which sends us scuttling back into gear and moving quickly down the hallway. As we're descending the steps, Genzo starts to fidget. Hey, sorry. About earlier. I try to turn my head, but my rabbit attendant gives me an impatient shove from behind to keep me moving. Back in the town. Needed some time to think is all. It's fine. It was a good idea to split up. I say quickly, waving my hands in dismissal. Genzo just winces. And when we reach the bottom of the stairs, he turns his attention to our increasingly grandiose surroundings. Titanic-sized flags lined either side of the corridor, almost as though welcoming a colossal beast. And a brilliant red carpet bisects the middle, leading the way to an equally impressive door. Jesus. Two rabbit attendants step to the side of the doors open as the doors open on their own like magic, revealing an enormous golden ballroom. And at its center, a long table piled high with some of the most opulent food I've ever seen in my life. My eyes are practically bugging out of my head. But even as I eye the food, I can feel a gurgle of disquietude bubbling up inside my gut. Next to me, Genzo doffs his cap to his chest. Mary, Mother of Jesus. Hungry, gentlemen? I've walked an awful long way. You deserve a treat. Genzo twitches. I'm not even gonna comment how weirdly sexual that sounded. Orlum just smiles, his already heavy-lidded eyes squinting further in amusement. Yes, yes, everything is sex to you, isn't it? You have always liked to have your cake and eat it too. Oh, because you're a patron saint of purity. Olin ignores him. He ambles over and throws his arms around the both of our shoulders. Come, come, enough loitering around in this drafty doorway, like a bunch of simpletons. My chef has put a lot of heart into this meal. It would do him a disservice to let it get cold. Genzo winces, but allows him to be guided towards the table all the same. It is a rather tempting sight. Yep, and here we go again, but this time Iggy's got bruises. We're seated on either side of the table, more sets of rabbit attendants scurrying to ready our chairs. Olin himself sits at the head of the table in an extravagant throne that looks like it could fit 5 of them inside of it. He leans back amongst the piles of cushions and blankets lining the seat, chin balanced on his palm. Then he raises an arm in the air and snaps his fingers. One of the rabbit attendants, waiting outside the far door, darts over and places a golden wine glass in his outstretched hand, then immediately fills it. Olin swirls it, takes a sip, glances at us, both simply watching him in awkward disbelief. He raises his hand as expiration. Eat, eat! I snap my head back towards the food. I am hungry. Famished even. Though something about the food seems off. Something I can't quite put my finger on. Something tingling in the back of my brain like a dream fizzling at the edge of consciousness. I shake my head. Now's not the time to let myself get disconnected from reality. I need to eat, if only to regain our strength. Following a slight pause, I reach forward to begin grabbing some of the best-looking items off the table, filling my plate up. Kendo snorts as he forks a giant slice of roast and rips half of it off with his teeth. He doesn't seem at all concerned about the food of the giant pile on his plate is any indication. You sure got everyone whipped around here. I mean, what do you expect? I am the king. I can do whatever I want, and no one's going to stop me. He takes another gulp of his wine. Feels good to be respected for once. I poke at my potatoes, which the gravy run over the side onto my asparagus. When I glance back up, Orland's looking at me. He's got that little grin again, almost as though he can somehow feel my growing discomfort. I bring a spoonful of stuffing to my mouth. Haircut, Iggy? What? I probably choke on the spoon. Your hair. I couldn't help but notice it's lacking its usual volume. Bit choppy though. You should go to somebody else next time. I draw my gaze back to my plate, swallowing the stuffing with an over-exaggerated gulp. Right, yeah. Olin rests his chin on his fist with a snicker. At any rate, can I get you gentlemen some wine? His arm goes up before he has a chance to respond, and a nurse snaps sends 2 rabbit attendants to the table with ready to serve glasses. I'm not really sure I should be drinking alcohol right now, but I also don't really feel I'm in a position to say no. Oh, sure. Don't mind if I do. Genzo promptly downs about half of his glass in one gulp. I just look at mine in growing discomfort. The deep red color makes it look like blood. My stomach twists. I turn my gaze back to Orlam instead. He's not looking at me anymore, or the food. In fact, his eyes are focused on Genzo. He's staring at Genzo, leaning forward, chin in hand, grinning from ear to ear. His gaze follows Genzo's every move, from the movement of the wine glass from mouth to table to the forkfuls of cottage pie he shovels to his mouth. If my stomach had been twisting before, it's absolutely contorting now. Why does this feel so familiar? And not just familiar, dread-inducing. Orland picks up a fork and uses it to cut off a small piece of bright red meatloaf. He then jabs it into the tines, then floats it against his direction. Try some of the loaf. No! I reach forward with a squawk before I can stop myself. Both of them turn towards me with identical looks of confusion. I feel my cheeks start to burn. What's wrong, Eggs? Got something against meatloaf? Genzo just laughs. It's... I don't know what to say. I don't know why I'd done that to myself. I tug at my collar, all of a sudden feeling very worn. I just had a bad feeling, is all. I bring my hand to my face. I don't know. Orland lowers the fork with a smile. It's a surprise, really. You seem to have gone through quite the ordeal. That can't have been good on your mental health. I lower my head, and unclasp my hands. I guess, yeah, I suppose so. Orlum stares at me a good second longer. He takes a sip from his wine and sits back. You didn't happen to run into Gidget, did you? He asked, bouncing his elbow on one arm of the throne. I twitch as a chill runs down my spine. Gidget. We, my throat feels incredibly tight. You'll be mine forever. I'm having trouble forming the words for a response. Fortunately, Genzo saves me. We sure fucking did. Not that it did us any favors. He says with a grumble that sends tiny flecks of cornbread out through his teeth. Oh? And here I thought you'd be treated as honored guest, given Gidget's pallid proclivities. Another twitch. My own little Iggy. I stared down at my spot of my pants. Is that blood? I can't tell. There'd been so much of it, seeping down my cheeks, flooding my eyes. She's doing quite well for herself, though, yes? And some of those shoots she's doing, positively erotic. Willem rubs his chin with a lascivious skyward gaze. I confess to having subscribed to a work myself. Get it every week through the Royal Mail. I'm not one to say no to an innate beauty of the flesh, after all. Not that I don't get my fill here. Why, I go to bed with different women every night. No women, they can't get enough of me. I keep special housing close by for desirable subjects. We have grand parties every night. Sometimes, even for a fight. Okay, oh, shut up already. No one wants to hear about your gross sexual escapades. Willem stops, gives Genzo a blasé glare. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you're only interested in when there's men involved. Genzo's face goes white. Willem, he hisses, all of a sudden looking incredibly nervous. This seems to have given Willem pause. He blinks and looks at me. Then practically melts into an impish little smirk. Oh, I see. You still haven't told him yet, have you? Told me what? I asked with an arc of my brows. He taps his chin. You know, I did always wonder why you never told him in particular. Isn't he your best friend? Willem, please. Genzo's brow twists in panic. I hear his chair squeak as he jerks forward. Because it's really curious if you think about it, Willem taps a finger to his lips and peers at the ceiling as though really ruminating on this. Genzo just throws a hairy glance in my direction. He looks as white as a sheet. But before he can say anything, and before the pieces can fully connect to my head, Willem turns his attention back towards me. But not nearly as curious as Iggy. Genzo I can read, but Iggy? You've always been a bit of an enigma to me. He leans forward, hand in his chin and eyes narrowed. The sudden scrutiny makes me sweat. I pull my collar to shift back as I shift back in my chair. Me? I'm just me. I mean, I don't have any. Yes, just you. The you who has had a beautiful girl fawning on him for years, yet has never reciprocated. And as far as I know, has never dated either. No, not even in college. Don't tell me, his eyes widen in amusement. Something's broken? It's not. My tongue feels about 5 times its normal size. I can feel the flush rising in my cheeks. Is it physical? Little Iggy not able to rise to the occasion? Shut up, Orlum. Can I just punch him in the face already? Orlum looks positively fascinated now, leaning up and out of his seat in his growing excitement. Or could it be mental? A childhood trauma, perhaps? Did someone take advantage of Orlum? Genzo rises to his feet so fast he knocks his glass over. For fuck's sake, leave the guy alone. Orlum grins, but he does sit back, lounging in his throne with a swish of his wine glass. I was merely asking him a question. You know, guy talk and all that. We never have done enough of it. I can feel a sweat leaking down my forehead, back of my neck, soaking my collar. I look at Orlum to Genzo to back to my lap. I need to say something. I'm just... I'm kind of wondering what will happen if I actually did pick the other one. I'm just picky is all. I guess I don't know, hickey? Just haven't found anyone I really like yet. My head sinks lower and lower into my collarbone. Picky isn't really the right word, but I don't know how else to explain it. I don't really understand it myself. I just don't have the urge to do that, well, with, well, anyone. I'm overcome with a feeling of shame. Maybe I am broken. I stare down at my lap, my fingers curling into the fabric of my pants. There's picky, and then there's ridiculous, William finally says in wonderment, taking an overly large sip of his wine. When I finally summon the courage to raise my head, I see Geto staring at me. His face is, well, it's unreadable is what it is, which just makes me feel even worse. Quickly snap my gaze back to my food. The tendrils of doubt that I'd been semi-successful at trimming back are beginning to sprout with flourish. I need to steer this conversation in a different direction pronto. I take an overzealous bite of the sausage and probably choke. So, anyway, I ask between coughs as I pound my chest. I take a slug of wine to wash it down. What are your plans? I mean, down here, with all of this. My plans? Woman sits back, gazes around. Turn this place into a proper kingdom, I suppose. There's still so many inefficiencies, a smirk, and I'd like to eventually expand. So much of this world is still unexplored. Think of all that untapped potential. I pause with the tines of my fork between my lips. That sounds pretty extensive. You're not going back then? I throw a glance back towards Genzo at this, perhaps searching for a backup. I don't know. But he's not looking at me. He's gone quiet and he's now. Oh, what the heck? I did not press right click. Okay, I didn't. My hand is off my mouse. He's grown quiet and is now just poking at his food. Of course, I will eventually, but what's the point of rushing back? Bit of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity we got here. Wouldn't want to waste it. I guess. My gaze falls and I let my fork drop back to my plate. What little appetite I had has vanished completely. I'm not feeling too hot. I bring a hand up to my forehead and wipe my curls with my clammy hands. My throat feels positively parched. I grow my wine glass, but my must misjudge the distance because I probably knock it over instead. Shit! I jerk forward to catch it? I don't know, but the damage is already done. The red quickly seeps across the tablecloth. I'm sorry. It's no bother. These things happen. Olam snaps his fingers and instead of attendants rush over to begin mopping up the mess. Shame tickles my cheeks. Genzo finally looks up at me, his face softening in concern. Everything okay, Iggs? You don't look so great. I don't? I pull anxiously at my collar. I guess maybe I am feeling a bit weird. This is apparently enough to prompt him into action because in the next moment he's to his feet. He turns to Olam. You said you got rooms for us? Of course. A bit of rest will surely do the trick. There's no doubt he's no doubt exhausted. Olam just smiles and snaps his fingers again. Guards, take Ignatius to the room we prepared. He needs his rest. Two guards emerge from the main doorway. They march over and pull my chair away from the table. I stand up with a little wobble, the rush of blood sending momentary stars across my eyes. Genzo hesitates for a second, then he's pushing himself up and away to make his way around the table. He reaches me as the guards start leading me towards the exit. You sure you're okay? He reaches for his shoulder, then seems to decide against it. He pulls back. You want me to make sure you get settled? In case you need anything. I pause for a moment, then nod. Sure. Despite the awkwardness of the table, having a familiar face in this place would still be a welcome respite. Though, perhaps not just any face. His face in particular. So long as he doesn't think I'm a complete weirdo after all that. But even if Genzo does think that, he doesn't say anything. In fact, he actually seems somewhat relieved at my response. He gives a little smile and reaches forward, tentatively placing a hand on my shoulder for support. Then the guards lead both of us down into the hall. Back at the table, Olam is lounging in his throne, eyebrows raised in a curious thought as he watches us leave. Sleep well now. My head is really starting to feel fuzzy now. Sweat dribbles down the back of my neck. A cold chill sends goosebumps up and down my arms. The guards take us up to multiple flights of stairs, and my legs feel more jellified with each landing we reach. Finally, we turn down the hallway lined with ornately carved doors. They open the second door on the left and beckon us inside. It's delightfully dim inside. Nothing but a fluttering candelabra on the bedside table to light the room. It's quiet too. Somehow it cools the intense beating starting up in the back of my head. Come on, let's get you in bed. Genzo says softly and leads me towards the bed. It's enormous and piled high with soft white pillows. And when I shirk off my pants and slip under the sheets, it feels heavenly on my skin. Thanks, Genzo. Hey, what are friends for? Am I right or am I right? But he seems to grimace to himself at this. Anyway, he glances around. Maybe I shack up in the chair over there, yeah? In case you need anything. Once you're good announced, I'll find one of those rabbit fellas to show me my own room. I nod, but already my eyes are starting to creep shut. Tired. So tired. I don't even see Genzo finish his trek to the chair before they close completely. Hot, dizzy, tired. There's a thrum at the base of my skull. My face feels clammy and flushed. I hope I haven't come out with something. I wonder for a moment if Genzo is comfortable, then drift off into a restless sleep. She's after me again. I can see her around every corner, hands outstretched, breath hot and face flushed. Iggy, she coos. I can feel her hands on me, my cheeks, my neck, running through my hair and sliding across my chest. You're mine, Iggy. Now her hands are moving lower. Her fingers dance across my stomach, pull at the fly of my pants. You don't need to be confused anymore. I'll fix you. To inside. I open my mouth in protest, but now her hands are there too. My cheeks clutching onto his skin, wrenching my head backwards, even as the other set of fingers begin to explore, and begins to touch, begins to caress. I'll teach you exactly what you want. Her thumbs find my eyes, pushing, pushing. I scream, but nothing comes out. Then I sit up with a gasp. Black. Everything is black. Quiet. Quiet except for the rapid hammering in my heart. Where am I? I look around. I rub in my face. Rub in my eyes. Check that my eyes are still there, still intact. Holy hell, legs! I jerk back at a voice, arms curling around my midsection, and shallow and dry breaths pushing past my lips. Hey, hey, hey! Movement. Then something sits on the side of the bed. I see Genzo's eyes first, blinking at me through the darkness. Then as my own eyes further adjust, his face comes into view, round and worried. You're fine. Everything's fine. Mumbling and moving something crazy in your sleep, though. He chuckles. My mind zeroes in on that. On him. On that one point of comfort and safety in the inky blackness of the room. Then I move forward. Oh. I curl up against him, my head to his shoulders. I feel him tense against me. He doesn't move. Not at first, at least. He just sits there, muscles frozen. Then he looks skyward, almost as though seeking out an answer from some otherworldly being. Finally, he brings his arms around me, shifting me over into his lap, gently repositioning me against his front. Yeah, he whispers. You're fine, you're fine. I breathe into his shoulder, long, slow, deep, calming breaths. My heart slowly begins to decelerate, soothed by the soft motion of his hand against my back. It's like being in a nest of warmth, completely and utterly safe, just lying there against his chest, moving up and down with his belly. Calm, secure. I sit up slowly, just enough that I can see his face. And then I do something I've never done before in my entire life. Aww. I press my lips against his. It's quick and soft and chaste. Barely more than a brush, really. But it's still a kiss, an actual kiss. Gizzo's hands stop moving, clenching against my back. And his chest rises suddenly with a sharp intake of air. Aww. I pull back. He just looks at me for a moment, eyes wide. Holy hell, eggs! It it's his same line from earlier, but now a low and hoarse. I hear him swallow. He opens his mouth, closes it, then opens it again. Finally, I've been wanting to do that for. He doesn't finish. He doesn't look at me either. Staring down somewhere around my clavicle, his hands clenched and unclenched in the fabric of my shirt. Sorry. Fuck. Look at me. I'm all fucking. He looks. He looks up at me, and I swear I can see his water dancing on his eyes. Then he grabs me and pulls me in close, tight, kissing me again, harder this time. One of his hands digs in my curls as the other moves up and under my shirt, fingers roaming my skin. Now it's my turn to freeze. My muscles lock up, breath catching in the back of my throat. My heart starts up again, faster and faster, and thudding painfully against the inside of my chest. Genzo notices almost instantly. He stops and pulls back. Oh, fuck, wait, was that wrong? Was that wrong? Fuck, I'm so fucking stupid. My body comes back down, slumping as my muscles untie themselves. I bring my hands to my face, to my hair, rubbing the damp skin. Now comes the fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of anger that will follow. I shake my head. No, I swallow my throat is dry. I just can't. That makes me uncomfortable. That? I bite down on my tongue, trying to search for the right words. That kind of touching, I wince. I pull my hair with a groan, frustrated at myself, embarrassed at myself. That's not what not the touching it in itself, more like what it leads to. I don't know how to put it. I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I just need more time. It's not that I don't like you. I think I might like you very much, but the anxious feeling of awkwardness grows in my every word, and I can feel myself shrinking in on myself in an effort to disappear. Genzo blinks in silence, then cocks an eyebrow with a smile. The fucker actually laughs. Oh, is that all? You actually had me worried there for a sec, Iggs. I bring my head back up, face no doubt a weird mixture of confusion and apprehension. You think I care about that? Fuck, Iggs, to be honest, I feel like I always kind of knew. But I don't care. I don't care about any of that. Just being with you is enough for me. More than enough for me. You don't think I'm broken? He stops, blinks, looks at me with a mixture of confusion and sadness. Fuck that. And fuck anyone that thinks that. He reaches forward and grabs me back into a hug. The calm, gentle warmth of his previous hug, just holding me against him. There's nothing wrong with you. And don't let anyone ever make you feel otherwise. You hear me? It takes a second for the impact to fully resonate with my brain. Then it hits me. And it's like a wave of something. Just completely runs through my entire body. My muscles, my limbs, everything going limp with a release of tension I didn't even know I've been holding. My chest unclenches. My heart unclenches. Even my eyes unclench, quickly filling with big salty tears. It's okay. It's actually okay. I'm okay. This thought seems to spark me into motion, to return control to my body, and in that instant, I return the hug and everything I've got, squeezing myself against him into him. My own little safe cocoon, where there aren't any expectations, no judgment, just love and acceptance. Oh. I'm not sure how long we sit there, just like that. Also, maybe just me, but I feel like I've heard this song before. Like, I know it probably wasn't the original, but I don't know. Like, it sounds like a music box version of something I've heard before. I just don't know what it is. I'm not sure how long we sit there, just like that. Finally, Genzo's grip loosens and he runs a hand through my choppy hair. Bro, Iggy is a lanky boy. Look how long his leg is. I'm guessing you're still fuck all tired, yeah? Yeah, I'm pretty fucking exhausted too. Maybe we should get some sleep then. He glanced over at the pillows and winces, suddenly unsure. I mean, if it's okay. It takes a moment, then I realize what he's asking. I grin, somewhat awkwardly. It's fine. His resulting grin could have lit up the room. I crawl back under the covers as he sidles out of his jacket and heavy pants, then I watch him come rolling over to join me. Soon, both of us are curled up beneath the sheets, eyes closed, breath heavy, and my head just barely touching his shoulder. I don't see her again for the rest of the night. Oh, it's so sweet of him. Hmm? Next time I open my eyes this morning, the sun is pouring in from the window to warm squares of light across the sheets. All right. Well, I think that would be a good time to leave this episode here for now. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never